Book segment tonight, rolling with Corolla. We begin with a new dictum from Washington State. No longer can state employees use the word penmanship. It is now handwriting. Why? Because the word man in penmanship apparently offensive. Here now, the former host of The Man Show, Adam Carolla, who joins us from Los Angeles. So if you were doing The Man Show now, it would be the handwriting show. Correct?
It will be the People Show or the Ma'am Show, anything but the Man Show.
The point is that people, Americans, see, it's all our fault, Corolla. It's the folks' fault. Because we accept this, that penmanship can no longer be said. Now, I'm going to go out and say penmanship as much as I can, and I want everybody else to do it too in Washington State. Even if it's not in, just go out every morning and go, penmanship! Across the whole state, because we have to fight back, Corolla.
Yeah, you're going to lose your job faster when they think you're insane, by the way, Bill.
Wow, I mean, then I would have lost it a long time ago.
But look at it this way. I mean, you just take something like immigration. It used to be illegal alien. Remember illegal alien? Yeah. And then became illegal immigrant. And then it is now unauthorized immigrant, and pretty soon it's going to be border heroes.
But here's my favorite. Here's my favorite. All right, article in the Washington Business Journal says that many realtors across the country will no longer use the term master bedroom. All right, because it has a slave connotation. Now, if you want to buy a home, it isn't the master bedroom, it's the owner's suite. Now, I thought the owner's suite was when you watch a football game with the owner of the football team. But apparently, it's a bedroom.
This is going to affect the auto industry as well, because in every car on the highway, there's a master cylinder. And if you drive a stick, there's a slave cylinder, which actuates the clutch. So we're going to have to fix that one. And the bigger point is this. Hey, lawmakers, hey, politicians, how about you start doing what we want you to do, which is fill the potholes, which is get the school systems up and running, which is weed out the sleeper cells with the Al-Qaeda living amongst us. Start doing what we want you to do instead of your long 6-year projects to correct handwriting or to go from this to that. Nobody cares about these titles. It doesn't fix a thing. It doesn't get anyone a job. It doesn't build a dam. It doesn't
what it does is it suppresses conversation. Let me give you a list. Even you will be amazed at this, Corolla. If you are on a train, you're no longer a brakeman. You're a brake operator. If you run the company, you are not the chairman. You hold the position of chair. The position of chair. Okay? Dairyman? Yeah. No. Dairy farmer. Okay? Not dairymen. Fisherman? Just Fisher. Just Fisher. I thought Carrie Fisher. Is she getting carp? No. You can't be a fisherman. Flagman, flagger. Foreman, jury person. Freshman in college. First year student. Okay?
Right.
Ranchman,
Bill,
ranchers.
by the way,
go ahead.
I tried the position of chair last night with my wife, and I threw out my lower back.
Okay. And that has another connotation there that you may be sued over. So what we're having here is a contraction of the language. You know, it used to be that the masculine pronoun was used, all right, for everyone. You cannot do that anymore. You cannot even have proper grammar anymore as far as what was handed down to us from the British. No more. And this gender stuff, I think, is totally out of control. Last word, Corolla, make it a good one.
Well, my point is, does it fix anything? I want to fix things. You know what I mean? American Indian, indigenous people, Indian, Native American. Okay, we can call anyone anything we want, but let's work on the problem, not work on the title and forget the problem.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because it is no longer the Cleveland Indians. We're breaking this tonight. It's the Cleveland Indigenous.
I don't know, Bill.
Okay, in your
I don't think
podcast,
well on my
Corolla,
feet.
I want you to come up with 5, and this is your assignment, homework assignment. 5 things that rhyme with indigenous. All right, Adam Carolla, there he is, everyone.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
This program is intended for mature audiences only. If you have any homicidal or suicidal feelings, please consult a doctor before listening to this program.
Well, do you? I don't think I do. No. Why do we even play that, Jenny? What's the deal with that? What is it, homicidal or suicidal? What, where? I don't know. What the hell? Well, good afternoon, and welcome to HTLA Radio 1 New York's Best Talk. And, of course, our live broadcast today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time in the big city of New York, where it is 52 degrees right now in Central Park and sunny. Yeah, it's warming up. I can't believe it. Yes, and it is only Tuesday, the 10th of March, 2015, to boot. But it is 52 in the city, and it is warming up, and it is 3:01 in the afternoon now, so it's time to tell you about today's show. And today's show, oh my God, what have we got going on here? Well, indeed, Hillary will speak today about her emails, as Obama is, well, detouring the press. Also, Georgia officers shoot and kill an unarmed, naked black man today, while the monkey outbreak is becoming even more of a problem. Damned monkeys. Also, 2 Oklahoma students so far have been kicked out of school for their racist video while their tuition stays locked up in a university bank. All that and so much more on today's show, so come on in and grab a cup, have a seat, and light one up. It's coffee time. There you go. Nice little ease into the show today, huh? Well, welcome to the Tuesday Espresso, of course, coffee and cigarettes, HTLA Radio 1 and New York's Best Talk. And this episode, of course, is, as always, brought to you by Tim Hortons in the New York City. Yeah. Tim Hortons, always fresh, now with 8 fine locations in the city to serve your coffee and baked goods needs. You owe it to yourself to check them out, and check them out now. Tim Hortons, always fresh. Also by PreSonus. You can find out more, of course, at PreSonus.com about those Studio Live AI digital mixers we use here at Studio 2. And, yeah, they're literally, I wouldn't even say the Cadillac of digital mixers, because they're more like a Range Rover of digital mixers, yeah. Yes. So, of course, we've got Jenny in the booth today, bouncing and pushing those buttons to make everything go. And, as always, this show is
powered by Procast.
Yes, it is. Thank you for unleashing that hell. Yes, powered by Procast. Absolutely we are, and we wouldn't be anywhere else without it, whatever the hell it indeed is. I had a little listener message just before the show today from our friend in St. Catharines, Ontario. Yes, the one, the only Greg Howe. He's talking about that Tim Hortons commercial that we run on the segments here. The song there, I've Been Everywhere Man. Yeah, he was looking for a little background on that. And, of course, that is a song that was written by the infamous Hank Snow, which, well, probably some of you Americans won't remember. I believe he died about, I'm going to say 12, 15 years ago. and he was at the ripe old age of, God, I think 90-something. Anyway, Hank Snow, big country artist back in the day, did the Grand Ole Opry a number of times. He wrote the song I've Been Everywhere Man, and it was actually re-recorded by Johnny Cash in the 60s. Yeah, so that'll give you a clue as to just how old that song is. Anywho, Tim Hortons, of course, gave that to us in one of their lineup for commercials, and it brought back memories for me as a kid, so I thought, hey, why not fire that one up there? Yeah, so there you go, in case you were wondering. 3:05, time to get going on the show here. So on the show, of course, we do have guest/co-hosts, we call them. And first up is, my film and television director mentor, the one, the only Louis Lawless of LDL Films. And he's, of course, coming to us live via satellite because he just doesn't like us saying that he's on the phone. Louis, are you there, sir?
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
I would say you're there.
Wait a minute, I got lost. HTLA. Oh, HTLA.
Right.
Hell is that?
Louis does have issues with his phone. I mean satellite from time to time, so be prepared for that. Also joining us from his beautiful, luxurious, auspicious, sprawling Manhattan apartment is the one, the only Gilbert Gottfried. Are you ready, sir?
What the fuck? I'm ready.
That's good to know.
Yes.
Yeah. And, of course, also joining us from his beautiful home in Los Angeles, California, is the one, the only George Takei. George.
I think it's a treat to be here talking with you.
Well, thank you. Yes, we appreciate that sincerely. Give the folks at home a little rundown about the old George Sulu Takei guy, Lieutenant there.
I'm George Takei, and when I'm walking down the street, people shout out,
Hey, Sulu. Yeah.
So I'm known more as Sulu than as George Takei,
which is what
I really am.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's good to see you. Anyhow, there you go. So we have the three fine gentlemen here helping us through today's stories, and man, let me tell you, today's stories. Ooh, my gird. How many of you are Hillary Clinton fans, huh? Okay, I'll take that as a 1. No, maybe 2. No?
Yes.
Well, big Hillary news today, of course, because she's coming out, and I don't mean the closet. No. In Washington today, Hillary Rodham Clinton plans to address her use of the private email account, of course, this afternoon, ending her silence finally about a growing controversy as she prepares for a likely presidential campaign. The former Secretary of State will hold a brief news conference after appearing at a United Nations event commemorating the 20th anniversary of the Beijing Conference on Women. This is according to her office. Clinton has only made a brief comment about the controversy via Twitter on March 4th, saying she wants the public to see her emails from her tenure as the nation's top diplomat, and that the State Department is reviewing the records for release. Clinton reportedly used a private email server that was installed in her home and her own internet domain at clintonemail.com to conduct, of course, government business. And we told you yesterday, of course, about that extremely well-known presidential candidate there for the Republicans. What's his name? Scott Walker. Yeah. Yeah, good old Scott Walker.
Break for a commercial.
No.
Yes.
I'm not breaking for a commercial until it's damn time for a commercial. The statement, I can speak. Yeah. Well, the State Department has said repeatedly that Clinton's use of private email accounts was not published and it was not prohibited as long as she kept records of her communications. She provided the state with 55,000 pages of emails at the department's request. Republicans have demanded an investigation. The House Select Committee on Benghazi, which is investigating the deadly 2012 attack on the U.S. compound in Libya, already has 300 pages of email and has subpoenaed Clinton and the State Department individually for the rest. Now, while Democrats have said that the Clinton controversy is overblown, some have called on her to speak out. Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois, the number 2 leader among Senate Democrats, said he'd like to hear from Clinton on this. I think it's only fair to say to Hillary, tell us your side of the story. Yes, this is telling us of this, of course, on NBC's Morning Joe. What did you put on this personal email, he asks. Senator Dianne Feinstein of California, the top Democrat in the Senate Intelligence Committee, said that the silence would hurt Clinton. She is the leading candidate, whether it be Republican or Democrat, to be the next president, Feinstein said on Sunday's NBC Meet the Press. And I think she needs to step up and come out of the state exactly. Let us know what the situation is. Yeah.
Use power. That's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Well, there you go.
I remember being on your radio show in Chicago.
Gilbert, I thought we'd been over this. I've never had a radio show in Chicago.
Yeah, and I remember we hung out afterwards and had a wild time.
Sure.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I remember, too, when we were in the alleyway, pants zipped up, there was this one, sleazy-looking guy who walked by who was staring at us, and you turned around, and, he was what? What? What's your problem? And you said, you don't give a shit.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I remember that so clearly. Yeah.
So I could see you feel very uncomfortable talking. Now there was another time you were when I know you're very secretive about your drug problem.
Yeah.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yeah, and Louis, you've got to quit pressing the buttons on your satellite there. You kind of keep hearing the beeps there. So yeah, there's Clinton doing her magic stuff today, and I guess today all will be revealed. But I'm being reminded by Jenny in the booth, of course, that it's time. Actually, we kind of went past it. We just jumped right into that Hillary story because, of course, it was so damned important. We missed Gilbert singing. So Gilbert, fire it up, buddy. Let her rip.
Na 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 na, ma 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 ma. Oh yeah. Who wants to grow up? Who wants responsibility? Oh, no, not me. Who wants to show up and work until you're 93?
Oh, you sad, sad little man.
Now everybody says you're running wild. The teacher's calling you a problem. Ooh. Yes.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, there you go.
Break for a commercial.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Are we good now?
Yes.
We're done. Okay. Well, moving on in the big stories, of course, everybody's kind of wondering, hey, what's Obama got to say about all this? Well, we have that story for you too. Yes, Obama sidesteps the White House press. Here we go. Not even kidding. He did. He just ignored them. He ran away. Well, reporters who gathered this morning to watch the presidential chopper take off got excited when President Obama approached them on a White House driveway instead of making his usual route across the lawn. Would he make a statement about Hillary Clinton, they thought? Would he make a statement about the Republicans or perhaps Iran? Or would he make a statement about the Ukraine? Nah. I'm just faking you out, Obama said. I'm avoiding the mud. Yeah. After saying hello to some children at the rope line, Obama headed directly to Marine One and took off for Andrews Military Base, ready to board Air Force One for Atlanta. Next window.
Yeah.
There you go. So Obama's just full of talking about all that good stuff. And hey, why wouldn't you? I mean, it's Hillary's emails, for God's sake. They're damned important.
Now, here's a segue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
I'm the most talented guy in this room.
Well, we'll give it to you.
Bullshitters, never keep your mouth shut. Always hustling, always looking for something to do and putting things together. That's a American. Look how they took the country away from England.
Well, there you go. There you have it in a nutshell right there. Thank you, Louis Lawless, for that. Well, we're going to take our first commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to tell you about those 2 Oklahoma students we told you about yesterday who were in that racist video. Yes, we'll tell you about them now being expelled from the University of Oklahoma, and the university ain't giving them their money back. No way. Back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh, always great tasting coffee.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Bainesville, Bowmanville, Bonnieville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Moncton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, Nunavut. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere, man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other to drive through the West Village, at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out of style. We never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor. We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Oh, yes. Both the Nazis on Hogan's Heroes were Jews.
Well, I'm sure they were, but I guess it's always the question, how the heck would you know, right?
That's the famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis. You heard that story, haven't you?
Yes.
Sitting behind his desk at Paramount, talking with big executives and TV people, and all of a sudden the chick pops up underneath, wipes off her mouth, and walks out the door, and Jerry doesn't have an eye.
Well, you know, you kind of, I guess, can get away with that when you're Jerry Lee, you know?
Yes.
Well, welcome back to the show, of course. Coffee and Cigarettes, HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. 3:21 in the PM right now. Still 52 in Central Park and sunny. And I don't know about you, but I'm going for a walk in the park after the show.
I'd like to have that as my slogan in life.
Well, welcome back to the show. And, of course, right before the commercial break, I told you about the 2 Oklahoma students who are now expelled from the University of Oklahoma for their racist video. Oh, my.
Yes.
Well, the Oklahoma University today expelled 2 students accused of playing a, quote, leadership role, end quote, in a fraternity's racist video. University President David Boren issued a statement today saying the investigation into the Sigma Alpha Epsilon video was continuing. He also said, quote, I have acted today to expel 2 students who were leaders in the singing of a racist chant, Boren said. He said this also in his statement, when the identities of the others involved is confirmed, they will also face appropriate disciplinary action, he said. Boren said the students had created a hostile environment for students and the university community at large. I have emphasized that there is zero tolerance for this kind of threatening racist behavior at the University of Oklahoma. I hope the entire nation will join us in having zero tolerance for such racism when it raises its ugly head in any situation across the country. And we'll be keeping their tuition. Yeah. Yes, Boren has apparently been working tirelessly to repair the damage since the video went viral Sunday. He quickly severed ties with the fraternity and promised a thorough investigation, warning that expulsions were possible and indeed likely. All SAE members have until Tuesday night to clear out of the fraternity house, Boren said. He hopes students involved in the video learn from the experience. Oh, well, at least they learned something at the university, yeah. But the SAE brothers are not the only members of the University of Oklahoma family hammered by fallout from the fraternity's racist hate video. SAE's black chef is out of a job. A sorority linked to the video is under fire. And OU recruiters have a lot of explaining to do to keep the university on the short list for young athletes and scholars. The video posted online Sunday by Unheard, a black student group at OU, shows students on a rented bus singing racial slurs targeting blacks. You know, it's funny in all this news story stuff here. They've never actually quoted as what these slogans are. Yeah? They've never actually said what they said. It's kind of strange. Well, the school's Delta 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 sorority chapter was also feeling heat amid claims that, well, if they're gonna use the Delta 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 thing, I'm gonna heat them. Amid claims that some members were seen chanting in the video as well. The National Office of the Sorority issued a statement saying the behavior documented in the video is deplorable and is in no way consistent with Tri Delta's ideals and core values. But yeah, we were in there. Yeah.
The music is fantastic. Oh, you got to hear it.
Nothing like the racist video music. That'll get you going. Yeah. Well, the statement also said the sorority was cooperating with the investigation so that they didn't get shut down and kicked off campus. Yeah. The chapter tweeted that we fully support our OU president. We are not under investigation. The statement on our website is national protocol. Well, that drew plenty of sarcastic Twitter replies, including this from Jade O. So the Tri-Delta racists singing with the SAE racists, that's okay. Good to know. It's good they didn't fall for their statement. There you go. The video's victims include Howard Dixon, the fraternity's African-American kicking boy. Actually, no, he's their chef, and he's out of a job now after 14 years. SAE alums immediately began raising money for Dixon online, collecting more than $24,000 within hours. Who says racism doesn't pay? Yeah.
You are a douchebag.
Yeah, I know. We used to have so much fun, Dixon told WFAA-TV. Now it's all gone. Yeah, it's all gone. An online fundraiser for SAE House, Mother Burton Giddo, was taken down after a video clip surfaced of her repeatedly saying the N-word, the school newspaper, the Oklahoma Daily, reported. Really? He was calling him Negro? No? What? That's PC now. You're allowed to do that. The current football team appeared unwilling to dismiss the video so lightly because they're scoring so bad this year they needed the diversion. Yeah. Well, Jeannie Carlson, a reporter for the Oklahoman, wrote a column noting that recruiting just got a whole lot tougher. She discusses high school football players John DeLance announcing via Twitter that he is decommitting from OU, and quotes at least one current OU player as saying he can't understand why. No, I don't get it. We're not just talking about recruiting the next 5-star running back or the next Big 12 Player of the Year, Carlson wrote. We're talking about recruiting the next National Merit Scholar or the next University of Oklahoma Student Association president. You know, all this news about the University of Oklahoma, they're not really that good of a university. They're just not. I don't even think they're in the country's top 20. Man, they just must be loving the press, you know. I don't know. Well, that's enough of that. I've had enough. They don't even give us the juicy bits or show us the damn video. Yeah. So, moving on, of course, we have to go to the bioterror monkeys. Yes, there they are. Nothing quite like the bioterror monkeys. And, of course, the CDC now is seeking more clues to that bioterror lab accident we brought you last week. The CDC is back at Tulane's Primate Center this week, seeking more clues to the lab accident that has exposed 7 monkeys to a... Really? 7? What happened to the 175? What? Now it's 7 monkeys, apparently. Okay, well, federal health investigators are back at the Tulane National Primate Research Center in Louisiana this week, seeking the source of the lab accident that has somehow exposed at least 7 monkeys to a deadly bioterror bacteria. State officials, meanwhile, are planning to test wildlife and domestic animals in the surrounding area for probable exposure. Investigators from the CDC began arriving Monday at the sprawling laboratory and monkey breeding compound north of New Orleans. The CDC will be taking a closer look at worker safety and health practices in the center's veterinary hospital, says agency spokesman Jason McDonald. The hospital has been suspected as the site of the monkey's exposure last fall to the bacterium originally, which is not found in the United States. Despite several weeks of investigation, officials still don't know how the bacteria escaped the secure lab. Elsewhere at the 500-acre research complex, nor do they know the extent of the contamination in its entirety, including whether or not bacteria has colonized into the soil or nearby waterways. The huge outdoor primate breeding colony cages on the property are near, of course, the water and, well, the soil. Well, the monkeys were not part of experiments and should have never crossed paths with the bacterium, which can cause serious and fatal illness in humans and animals that may not develop for days or years after exposure. The bacterium is highly regulated as a research material because of its potential to be used as a bioweapon. The bacterium is found primarily in soil and water in Southeast Asia and northern Australia. Oh, we don't need to worry about anybody using it as a bioweapon. Just let us screw around with it for a couple of weeks and we'll screw up, you know. We'll do ourselves in, don't you worry. Well, USA Today previously reported that studies of the bacteria in the wild indicate that the number of soil samples taken by the EPA in Tulane last month was too small to detect the pathogen if present. Tulane officials cite the testing, which involved 39 soil and 13 water samples, as evidence the bacteria got outside and say it was adequate. The CDC has found no evidence to date to suggest the organism was released into the surrounding environment, and therefore it's unlikely that there is any threat to the public. Just don't go picnicking north of New Orleans. Yeah. On Friday, tests by the CDC identified 2 more monkeys at the center that now show signs of antibodies of the bacteria, indicating they have been exposed to it. That brings to 7 the total number of monkeys that ongoing testing found to be either infected or with showing signs of exposure to the bacteria. 3 monkeys became so ill they had to be euthanized. The 2 newly identified monkeys are healthy and do not show any signs of illness whatsoever, according to a statement Tulane released late Friday. Both were in the same area of the veterinary hospital around the same time as the other animals that tests show were exposed because their level of antibodies are low. The CDC has recommended they say nothing more until they complete their big boy tests.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, it's a fun time. Now, it is.
But I love every second of it.
Well, sure. Absolutely. You would. Why wouldn't you?
Here's a name out of nowhere, but I don't know. I just thought because she's really of, like, more modern but still old Hollywood. Raquel Welch.
Oh, yeah, wow. There's a name out of the past.
I wasn't expecting that reaction.
No, no. Well, she's got to be, geez, yeah, it's got to be, what, 70 now?
You are a douchebag.
I know, but, you know, I get by, and I'm okay. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so, no, Gilbert, haven't seen or heard from her in so damn long, you know?
Did you think Al Pacino did a good job as Spectre?
Well, of course. Al Pacino does a good job with absolutely everything, you know?
No, I don't, because I asked him, I said, well, fly out here and I'll film you.
Oh, Al Pacino's not going to come out for you, Louis. No. That's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen.
He called me, and he called me, and he kept calling me, and I wouldn't answer the phone.
Who would that? Who? Oh man, I don't know who that was, but it wasn't me. Well, state officials said that testing and surveillance plans are still being developed. In addition, the state agriculture department said it's working with the U.S. Department of Agriculture on a fact sheet for animal owners, veterinarians, and laboratories on what signs to look for in the event that there is a mass exposure to animals all over New Orleans. That's really, I don't know, that instills a lot of happiness and joy.
Yes.
Yeah. It's unclear what organisms Lackner is referring to as to having been present in Louisiana prior to Tulane's lab accident. Tulane declined Monday to answer questions about this as well. The CDC has said that the strain Tulane was studying, its high containment laboratory in Covington, Louisiana, is known as strain 1026B. It was originally recovered from a rice farmer who was sickened in Thailand in 93. Tulane's laboratory strain is identical to the strain of bacteria that sickened the first two of the primate center's monkeys last November, the CDC has said. Well, for full coverage of the Tulane lab incident and other fun articles, you can check out biolabs.usatoday.com.
What the fuck?
What?
I'm ready.
Okay, well, good. You go do that, and we'll be all sitting over here minding our own business. Moving on now. Well, what are we moving on to? Well, we're moving on to the Georgia police officer who shoots and kills an unarmed, now naked black man. Yeah.
Break for a commercial.
No, not yet. Not yet. Another few minutes here. Yeah, not even kidding. In DeKalb County, Georgia, an officer shot and killed a naked, unarmed black man today at an apartment complex. Police and witnesses gave consistent accounts of what happened in the parking lot of the Heights Chambly apartments. DeKalb County police officer fatally shot a man who witnesses said was knocking on doors and acting kind of like Gilbert Gottfried, yeah. An investigation led by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation will determine if the DeKalb County police officer was justified in shooting the naked black man. Yes, the naked black man, of course, in question being identified by the Associated Press as Anthony Hill, 27 years old. Police were called to the complex by a 911 caller who said a suspicious man was running through the complex naked. The caller reported a male acting deranged, knocking on doors and crawling around on the ground naked, said DeKalb County Police Chief Dr. Cedric Alexander in a Monday afternoon news conference. When the officers arrived, they found the man completely naked in the parking lot. The man, he was like drugged, but he was naked and he was crawling, says Oscar Perez. I think the police officer thought he was going to attack, like a deranged monkey, so he shot him. Yeah. Police gave, of course, a similar account at the press conference. Yeah. When the male saw the officer, he charged, running at the officer, Alexander said. The officer called to him to stop. While stepping backward, he then drew his weapon and fired 2 shots. The police said no weapon was found at the scene, and it appears the man was unarmed and naked. Yeah. Oh, so sad, so sad. The police had no weapon found, of course, at the scene, and one of the questions that will be examined during the investigation, of course, is whether the officer could have used a lesser alternative method of force to subdue the naked, unarmed black man. Yeah.
All right, go a half an hour. Do I get 50,000?
No.
And I finally figured out how to edit.
That's very good, Louis. Yeah? That's excellent. Yes, he was equipped with the appropriately issued police equipment, including taser, Alexander said. The chief said the officer also had pepper spray at his disposal, as well as a wide range of surgical gloves. Yeah. In an effort to be as transparent and as fair as possible, Alexander said he has asked the GBI to conduct the investigation. He says he wants to be as fair as possible so our shoe stores don't get burned to the ground. And yeah, that's right. The officer involved is a 7-year veteran of the force, and he will be placed on administrative leave during the investigation, Alexander said. Now, according to the New York Times, the incident was the third fatal police shooting since just Friday. It's open season. That's what we're talking about here. Of the black man who was or has appeared to be unarmed, and with the third case, completely naked. Yeah.
You are a douchebag.
I know I am, but that's okay. I told you, I'm fine with it. 19-year-old Tony Robinson was killed by a police officer in Madison, Wisconsin on Friday during a scuffle inside an apartment. The same day, a police officer in Aurora, Colorado, shot and killed Nishilas Vinzant, 37, a parolee who had cut off an ankle monitor. He was wanted in an assault, robbery, kidnapping, and domestic violence incident. Hill's name has become a Twitter hashtag by people expressing frustration and anger over police shootings of unarmed, now naked black men.
What the fuck?
I know.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Are you really? Are you gonna go ahead and update your tweeter there, Gilbert?
Yes.
Well, good for you. I'm happy for you. Yeah. Oh, and justice for all. Yes, and justice for Anthony Hill. And oh, my God. Well, anyway, gang, it's time to go for that second magical commercial. And when we come back, we'll get into, well, the rest of that story because, yeah, there's more. It's a naked black man. Come on, back in 2.
You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
Man, I've been to a lot of places over these past 50 years. Seen the whole true north strong and free. 'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Cooksville, Stouffville, Bainesville, Bowmanville, Bonnieville, Unionville, Oakville, Dunville, Brockville, Boucherville, Melville, Drummondville, Kentville, Grenville, Morinville, Maryville, Parksville, Stephenville, Sackville, Spring Hill, Westville, Walkerville, hanging on a windowsill. Hey! He said, wow, that's a lot of places. I said, hang on, there's more. I've been to Moncton, Picton, Shannon, Vernon, Stellarton, Hamilton, Nipigon, Nobleton, Yorkton, Brighton, Bolton, Beaverton, Brandon, Edmonton, Walkerton, Wyerton, Granby, Miramichi, Charlottetown, Burnaby, Yellowknife, Whitehorse, Corner Brook, Nunavut. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I crossed the prairies bare, man. I breathed the mountain air. I've traveled, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere, man. Check it out. Ottawa, Wawa, Mattawa, Chippewa, Moose Jaw, Oshawa.
It could be 7 in the morning. Or 10 at night.
In Chilliwack, BC.
Or St. Peter's, Nova Scotia.
It could be Michelle.
Or Mark.
Or Jen.
But whenever. Wherever you order that cup of Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee.
You know that it's always.
Always.
Always. Fresh.
From Newfoundland and Labrador to Vancouver Island, Tim Hortons, a coffee all our own.
You walked into the hotel as a 5. But when she saw the room, you turned into a weird 7. When she saw the rooftop pool, you went to 11. You two should probably get a room. Oh, that's right. You already did. At Planet Earth's #1 accommodation site, Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
Some said the U.S. has lost its innovative power. We said America is lighting the way as the innovation nation. Singular insights, superior execution. That's the power of global connections. Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. Voted top global research firm 2011, 12, and 13.
I've been so inspired by being in New York because everything from what people are wearing on the street to the way they're interacting with each other, to drive through the West Village at night and you see a couple kissing on the street, or you see someone fighting outside their apartment, or you see so much humanity on a daily basis that even if you're not inspired by your own life that day, you can be inspired by someone else's life.
You got that long hair, slicked back, white t-shirt, and I got that good girl face and a tight little skirt. And when we go crashing down, we come back every time, 'cause we never go out, we never go out, we never go out of style. Take me out.
There's only one place to get more Taylor. We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
I've been on enough radio shows to know that in the middle of an answer, the guy is like checking the boards and looking over notes and talking to other people. Yes. See? Now you're impressed.
Yeah. Oh, we'll always be impressed, Gilbert, absolutely.
Now, here's a story I'm sure you're tired of talking about, but I'd be remiss in not bringing it up, and that's when you beat up a transvestite.
Which woman are you married to or living with now? The same one? The mother of the daughter, or was it a boy?
No, the naked black one, Louie. Yeah. Every once in a while, I just like to shoot a naked black one. Yeah. Well, 52 degrees still in New York City, in Central Park right now. Not sunny anymore, of course, though. No, it's clouded over just because, well, I don't know. I guess it can or something. But, yeah, I don't care. It's 52, and I haven't seen 52 in like 6 months.
Yes.
So, yeah. So we're back with the big program, and I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Okay, I will. Jeez. God. Guys, just pushing my buttons you are there today.
Did you ever see the Charlie's Angels episode with Sammy Davis Jr.?
I think when I was like 7, 8 years old. Yeah. Yeah.
They once said to Sammy Davis Jr. that he's the greatest performer in the world. And Sammy said that he didn't agree with that. He thinks Mickey Rooney was the greatest performer in the world.
Oh, yeah. Could be.
I wasn't expecting that reaction.
No? I don't know. I think Andy Rooney is definitely the... Is that not right, Andy? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Both the Nazis on Hogan's Heroes were Jews.
Oh, okay. There's something I did not know. Yeah, I did not know that. Seriously, I did. Wow, that's incredible. I think
Mr. T would be proud of you.
Well, thank you, Louis. Of course he would. Yes, thank you.
You would have loved the guy. Never drank, never smoked, did drugs, nothing. He had only one obsession, and that was the women.
He just pitied the fool, and yeah.
If you think that you were clever with women, he wouldn't stand a candle with this guy.
No.
Or Muhammad Ali was another one with women. I did 2 films with him.
Yeah.
We were doing a big boxing movie with 200 or 300 people in the stand, and he walked in and had beside him stood his macho honcho, and those were all the Muslims in those days. They had those little thin ties and suits.
Yeah.
And he would point at the females, and he went and got him and gave him a note, and every 20 or 30 minutes they would go into his dressing room. But they were only talking about negotiations, I'm sure, right?
Oh, yeah, it's all about the business, yeah.
Well, it's all about the business. That's right. And we're in the business of spilling some news in the coffee shop and having your commentary. So let's continue, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, justice for Anthony Hill. Yes, that's the big Twitter news right now. Justice for Anthony Hill. Hashtag justice for Anthony Hill. Hashtag Anthony Hill. Hashtag mental illness is not a weapon. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Yeah. I'm going to say it again. If you have to have a T-shirt to say that your life matters, yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. It does not. No.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Yes.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. Wouldn't be anywhere else. Yes, they're pushing that. Yeah. Oh, and this tweet, of course, from Bridget. Yes, we all know Bridget, right? Yeah. Yeah, well, she says, my boyfriend was shot and killed today by an officer. He was unarmed and naked. Never in a million years did I think that would happen. No, I bet you didn't. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be a likely scenario in your little mind. Yes, and the director of the National Parks for the United States tweets, rest my brother, your death will not go in vain. We will level all of their shoe stores. Yeah. Oh, I am so sick of this. That's what he said. Yeah. Well, let's get on to something really important here, like the big news that Obama today is signing, quote, the Student Aid Bill of Rights. Yeah, not even kidding. President Obama unveiled a Student Aid Bill of Rights today, arguing that the federal government should do more to help young people pay off massive student loans, including those two that were just kicked out of the Oklahoma University and not getting their money back. Yeah. Well, yeah, higher education has never been more important. Really? Because yesterday, Obama, you said that you were going to shove a whole bunch of unqualified people into high-tech jobs. Which is it here, buddy? But it's also never been more expensive, Obama says. He told a crowd of students gathering at Georgia Tech in Atlanta today. Obama traveled to Atlanta after signing a memorandum declaring the, quote, Bill of Rights program, a series of directives he said are designed to streamline and improve the manner in which we release racist videos from our universities. Well, the memo directs the Department of Education and other federal agencies to look for ways to help with loan repayments. One proposal would focus on lenders to provide better customer service and create more repayment options and quit calling them every 3 minutes and berating them and swearing at them. Yeah. Just stop doing that. Other plans include new rules for third-party organizations that collect loan repayments, requiring them to better inform borrowers about their repayment options. A new website where students can see all their loan information in one place. Yeah, come to this website and see just how screwed you really are. Oh, man.
Power, that's why power is corrupt, and it is. We see it every day. We see it in every job. It's the same thing.
Well, yeah, we do. We're going to make sure that loan services or servicers can find better ways to help borrowers keep up with those monthly payments that they can afford, Obama said. He must be talking about those middle-class people again. Yeah. Well, every borrower has the right to an affordable repayment plan, Obama said at Georgia Tech. Every borrower has the right to quality customer service, reliable information, and fair treatment. Well, I guess he's not talking about his Obamacare website. Yeah. No. The White House also released state-by-state data today on the amount of outstanding student loans. Obama said the average student who borrows money to pay for their college graduates with about $28,000 to $38,000 in student loan debt. The Obama directives do not require congressional approval. No, why would they? Obama has proposed the other initiatives, including 2 free years of community college for qualified students, but they have not gotten anywhere in Congress. No, it's not on their list. It's not about spending money. Yeah. While in Atlanta, Obama will also participate in a fundraising roundtable for the Democratic National Committee before returning to the White House tonight. There you go. And in our final story this afternoon, do you want to drive 80 miles an hour legally? Well, South Dakota could join 4 other states that allow just that. Yeah. In Pierre, South Dakota, motorists on South Dakota's interstates could push the pedal to 80 miles an hour if a bill scheduled for the state House vote on Tuesday becomes law. An amendment to State Senate Bill 1 would allow drivers to go 80 miles an hour on portions of the interstates instead of the current maximum of 75. Ooh, let's waste lots of government time on 5 miles an hour. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Initial reaction to the speed limit amendment was mixed. Governor Dennis Dugard is willing to consider it an aspect of a highway funding package, but he said it's only 5 freaking miles an hour. Well, Marilyn Bushackle with AAA of South Dakota said she was surprised and wanted to learn more. My initial thought would be, with the problems we've had with distracted driving, adding more speed to it probably isn't a good mix, just because your reaction time has to be quicker, Bushkull said. But I'm just learning about this, so I want to reserve any further comments. Yes, and right well you should, woman. Why are we getting commentary about driving from a woman? What?
You are a douchebag.
I know. I know. Governor, Republican, or Representative, GOP. Yeah, I can speak today. Governor, yeah. What? A GOP rep, Mary Duval of Pierre, a prime sector of SB 1, doesn't believe that the speed limit amendment should have been included in the roads bill. I'm looking for more ways to raise money for road repair and maintenance, she says. And speeding everybody up 5 miles an hour isn't getting me anywhere. Yeah. I think it should be a standalone bill, a live or die on its own merits, and not be tied to what we're trying to do and what we're trying to find money for of the speed increase. Yeah, she first heard about the idea of moving to 80 miles an hour on the interstates last week. I guess the argument for a higher speed limit is the faster you go, the more gas you burn, and the more taxes you pay buying gas, she says. Yeah. Well, you know, if these lovely women here in South Dakota keep talking about, distracted driving, none of these people who are on their cell phones while they're driving are going to even know that the sign says 80 instead of 75. I mean, think about it. If it actually goes through, none of them will know. They're all going to be on the phone, and yeah. Well, there you go. So that's the big word. And, other states that have passed the 80-mile-an-hour speed limits, Idaho, Texas, Utah, and Wyoming, have had no loss of federal money, and noted that the studies done in Utah have showed that fatalities have actually gone down. Well, if you speed them up to 120 miles an hour, they'll go down even further because everybody will be so goddamn scared. They won't be looking at their phones. No.
Yes.
See? I'm saying that right there. There you go. Well, gang, it is that time once again. I'd like to thank HTLA Radio 1 New York, New York's best talk, for having us on today. Coffee and Cigarettes Tuesday Espresso. Check out HTLARadio1.com for all our wonderful shows and just New York's best talk. What else is there to say? Also, thank you very much, Louis Lawless, for joining us on the show today. Very, very glad you were here, sir.
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
Right. Yes. Thank you all, as always, Gilbert. You're an absolute hoot on the show. Love to have you.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God.
And, of course, the one, the only George Takei. Thank you, George, for being here. We'll check you tomorrow.
I've enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah?
It has been a fantastic experience.
All right.
Yes.
All right, gang. Well, on behalf of me and Jenny and all of us here at HTLA, have a great Tuesday. And a reminder, Crash Talk coming up tonight, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Be here, be squeer, whatever. And, yeah, have a great Tuesday, and we will see y'all tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, for another Fine Coffee and Cigarettes.
You know, I'm the most talented guy in this room.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.